really nice of you to join me here in person, you know, on this beach, halfway between Nova Scotia and Michigan, that we could both somehow drive to in one day.
Yeah, it sure is great that the geography worked out so well, so we could actually hunt for fossils together, totally in person. Oh hey, what's over there?
Well, what I think we have here is the subject of today's video, which, if you haven't figured out, is fossil Pokémon based on our respective regions. Living in Nova Scotia, it puts me close to the Joggins Fossil Cliffs, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Here you can find fossils from the Coal Age. As you can see here on their website, it says the entire food chain of the terrestrial Coal Age ecosystem is represented at Joggins. From the primary producers, which are the plants that capture the energy from the sun, to decomposing detrivores, invertebrates, and ultimately to the predatory carnivores, the tetrapods. That's who we're going to be focusing on. And the little guy that we are looking at, you can see here on this chart, that's when he existed. So I envisioned this fossil Pokemon as having two evolutions. The primary evolution being a littler guy that can climb trees and live down on the ground, but the evolution is a bigger guy that's ground-dwelling. Now, even though he's a little lizard, I kind of imagined him as being a fire lizard because he comes from the Coal Age, so it's like he himself is kind of combustible, and maybe the coal, the carbon, as a result of the combustion accumulating on his bones, makes him more dense and heavier, and that's why he can't climb trees later. I don't know if that scientifically checks out, but speaking from a scientific standpoint, the fossil that I'm actually basing this little guy on is this creature. So I have a hard time saying it, but the best I got is Dentrupetant. And that kind of sounds French, but that's the best I got, and I apologize. In any case, it is concentrated in Nova Scotia, found primarily at the Joggins Fossil Cliffs, and it's an amphibian from the Carboniferous Age. It also says on here on Wikipedia that the environment at the time could have undergone fires, which lends to my wanting to have my Pokemon be fire-based as well. Here you can see what they imagined this real animal would have looked like, so this is kind of the inspiration for what I'm trying to do for my Pokemon. So the backstory I've kind of come up with for this guy is that he starts out as a little dude, just kind of a overgrown gecko, but still little in the scheme of things, and then turns into this Komodo dragon, heavy, big beast of a boy that crawls along the ground. So I imagine the little guy being kind of more playful and clumsy. He can't always control his fiery sneezes, hence the fires in the ecosystem around the time, and all the coal. Yep, we're gonna blame that on him. Color scheme-wise, I'm kind of leaning on the sketch from the Wikipedia article, because the color scheme lends itself well to the story I already had in my head. I also thought I'd throw in another little one with the shiny colors. Dender is what I'm going to call the first evolution, and he evolves into Denderdon. I generally suck at doing backgrounds, so I like to let watercolor do it for me. With this new Nova Scotian Pokemon fossil resurrected, it's time to see what Sivana will be sending me today in a trade. In the meantime, I'm going to be working on something to send to her.
Hey there, Cindy. So the fossil that I have uncovered from the ice for you today is one based on the American Mastodon, which is actually the state fossil of Michigan, so it was just perfect. I decided it was going to be a pure ice type, since most mastodons died out in the Ice Age, and the only way to revive one of these big fuzzy elephants was to find its tusk still frozen in the ice. Now, when you get the tusk fossil revived, you will receive the second stage of the evolution, because the babies don't have tusks, but you can still get the baby by breeding. I wanted their fur to still have snow and ice on them that never melts, and the tusks actually be made of ice. It was just a really cool aesthetically, and I really like how it turned out. And also I gave them little heart noses. So you may be wondering, what's the difference between mastodons and mammoths? And that's a fair question, because before doing this, I didn't even know what a mastodon was. Well, for one, mastodons were shorter and stockier, and not as woolly as mammoths. They also had different diets and habitats, with mammoths living in paraglacial landscapes and mostly eating grass and other shrubbery. Mastodons, however, lived in forests and would eat a variety of vegetation, from leaves on the trees as well as the twigs and bark of the trees. Mastodons also more closely resemble modern Asian elephants with their smaller ears and straighter backs, though the way I drew this Pokemon, it definitely looks more like a mammoth, but whatever. I decided the baby would have light brown fur and gave the second stage a nice icy gray coat because I saw a book on mammoths and mastodons that had a big gray mammoth covered in ice and snow on it, and I thought it looked really nice. They do kind of swap colors in their shiny forms though, because I like when shinies do that. So here we have Mammut, a combination of mammoth and tooch, which is the sound that cute little elephants make. And Icetodon, the ice mastodon, because I am so clever. I hope you enjoy your new furry pets, Cindy. They are definitely much nicer than Michigan's other fossil Pokemon. Trust me.
I promise to love them forever, and then resurrect them and love them some more. If you want to see the other Pokemon that I managed to resurrect from the fossils at Joggins, you're gonna have to head on over to Sivana's art studio to see her video. Sivana is an amazing artist whom I've had the pleasure of collabing with before. If you haven't seen it, I'd love for you to go check it out. She does digital art and she's absolutely amazing. She does lots of things in relation to both Pokemon and horror, two subjects that I love to visit here on my channel as well. Thanks for being so fun to work with, Sivana. Thank you guys for watching. A big welcome to all my new subscribers. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, comment down below to let me know what you thought if you have any ideas, and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you continue to stick around.